Open the meeting of the Special Committee on the Family Division of the Circuit Court. And our purpose today is to look at the final report and make a decision on it. Let me give you my opening intro, at the end of which maybe you'll have some things to ask or things to say. This big document, which is kind of what we did, plus several items that were submitted to us. This big document was emailed to you yesterday afternoon. In the final report, about 95% of this was already approved. One part of it at the end of last year, the rest of it not too long ago this year. The Vice Chair gave us a schedule a week ago, which I accepted, and a few things happened during this past week. Representative Long suggested something be included. About the time he was sending that, it occurred to me too. Great minds think alike. So that should be in my opening remarks in the report. I asked Representative Gregg to supply a date on a meeting, and she did that. A few subcommittee reports were partially rewritten to update. For example, my report on rules of evidence was accurate when it was accepted last year. But subsequent to that, some things happened in the judiciary, and that needed to be mentioned so that my report would be up to date. I think one other report was about the same. The question was about the items that were submitted to us. And there are a lot of items. What of these should be in the report? No suggestions were made to me specifically about this report or that report. So our clerk, who has been the repository of all the stuff, suggested several. I said I do not want anything that was primarily an angry criticism of the court in general or naming a judge in particular. It was not helpful, it was not appropriate. But thoughts, ideas, suggestions, facts, comparisons would be. We centered on several, and that is in the second half of your document. There's a lot more, and arguably some might suggest we add this one or take that one out. We're not going to be doing that today. If that were the case, it would have been submitted to me over the weekend. However, when I was appointed chairman of this special committee, I went through the very thick file of previous times when the family court was the subject. And anyone who wishes to do a deep dive can contact our committee assistant, who will readily make those things available. There's a lot of stuff if somebody wants to do a deep dive, or if this special committee is reconstituted some years down the road. Arguably, this or that could have been added. When I was working on my doctoral dissertation at Boston University, the dean pulled several of us aside and said, "Turn in your dissertations, please. There's a deadline." And we all said, "But there's another footnote I wish to add, and there's another person I want to talk to." And he said, "This could go on indefinitely." He said, and as a result, sometimes people don't get the thing turned in. And that's the worst dissertation, the one that is never turned in. So, same kind of a thing. Yesterday, a member of this committee asked if a couple of other things could be added. And I said no. And the person who asked that question was me, because I said, "Oh my gosh, we should have that in there." Well, the rules were get it done by the weekend because we have to finalize it and get it out the door. So I said no to me on that. Maybe this special committee will be re-upped. The report does not ask us to vote on that, but it does mention the fact that some people here think it could be, it might be. The reason is we have established a good working relationship with the judiciary, and as a result, we're able to successfully pick some low-hanging fruit. But there's fruit a little bit further up the tree, and maybe that can be addressed given our relationship with the judiciary. That will be obviously up to whomever is the speaker next year. And maybe that speaker is the same one, maybe that speaker is a different one, but it would be that speaker to listen to the suggestions of some of us if we want this committee reconstituted. If that's the case, some of the items that didn't make the cut, such as the two things I said no to coming from me yesterday, might just be put into that next report. So what we're going to do today is look at errors. Are there errors of fact in anything in the report? Because they should be corrected. And I was overhearing a conversation before we got going that there might be at least one error of fact. So that's my opening salvo. If anyone has a response or anyone wants to dive in, just ask to be recognized. Representative Katab.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just had two very minor clerical things. I assume if we kind of put those into red lines, that clerical things can be modified. Would that be okay?
If it's an error of fact, yes. I don't want to open up the idea of let's add this, let's add that, or it's an unending thing.
Nope. It's just Judge Luno's name was spelled incorrectly. It should have a U in there.
Where are we?
That is on page.
Now this is in the
Sorry, that's on the last page of the stapled report.
last page of the staple.
In the last paragraph. It's missing a U at the end.
I don't see where you are.
Right here.
I see where you are. Okay. Does everyone see where she is? And she asks if we can spell the judge correctly. And you have that one, do you? Okay, good. Thank you. We'll throw that in the motion to accept with allowed changes. Any objections?
What's the right spelling, Mr. Chairman?
It just needs a U at the end of the name.
Thank you.
Luneau, okay?
And then there's one,
I don't see any objection to that being part of our final motion. Go ahead.
and then there's just one minor missing dash. The rest have dashes just for consistency. Those are the only two things.
Missing a dash, a hyphen.
Yeah. So the
On
rest
what-
have hyphens. This
Some new
doesn't.
laws, this is under the document, some new laws passed, which is in here somewhere. And I don't see it yet. I don't see it, but okay, some new laws passed. This is a very minor point, but after HB 1006, there is a hyphen, a dash, and after HB 1564 there is, and there isn't one after HB 1005. Any objections to that? You know, that we do want to keep the punctuation police at bay. Okay, no objection to that. Anything else that anybody sees that is a typo or error of fact? Any other comments that anyone wishes to make? Representative Macbeth.
I just appreciate the the work that's been done this past week and the energy that went into it to try to bring this up to where everybody would be happy with it. So thank you.
And while I was surprised at what my vice chair gave me last week, I came to see the sense of it. It was good to have this additional week just to make sure. I was working under the assumption that this was like a interim study report, which was due last week. And when I was informed that, oh no, it is not, that did give us the week. And it did give everybody a chance to get anything in that he or she wished to have come in. So in retrospect, I think this was a good thing we did it. So thank you. I want to thank the committee. We worked well. There's a place in my opening remarks where I said when I was appointing subcommittees, I didn't think to balance them in terms of party because we weren't acting in a partisan fashion. We were just wanting to make some helpful changes with the judiciary working with us. I think the attitude of everyone was to let's work together, and I think we did. And thank you to the judiciary. Well, nothing else. Are we ready to vote? For the record, to note that Representative Deborah DeSimone from Children and Family Law is sitting in for Representative Ball, also from that committee. I didn't know if we could do this. This is a special committee, so I called the Speaker's office and they said yes, and they made the appointment. So just for the record, DeSimone in for Ball. And I would like to move the acceptance of this report. Do I have a second? Representative Gregg, also known as our stealth weapon. You know, when you get assigned to a special committee, the job gets done before your special committee can even convene because they listened to you and they said, what a great idea, let's go do that. And, you know, you're 2 for 2 on this, so thank you. So that's why I was hoping you would be the second for it. All right, it's been moved and seconded to accept the report with the grammar and spelling changes. Motion by the chair, second by Representative Gregg. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Chairman Pearson,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Smith,
No.
Representative Lynn,
Yes.
Representative Gregg, Representative DeSimone,
Yes.
Representative Lanza.
Not here.
Oh,
Here.
Representative Kutab votes yes. Representative Long,
Yes.
Representative McMahon,
Yes.
Representative Macbeth.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-1.
Is it 8-1? It's 8-1. Thank you. And unless anyone has a final comment, we're adjourned. It didn't.
No,
quite
no,
hit
no,
the
no, I
table.
said,
Oh, good. Okay. Thank you, everyone.